With a bite. With a bite.
Birdie, birdie on my mind, swing and a miss every time. I hate this fucking game, but I'm here just the same. Birdie, birdie on my mind, swing and a miss every time. I hate this fucking game, but I'm here just the same.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special introduction to this week's episode of the I Hate This Fucking Game podcast. We are about to embark on our very first interview. So joining us today is our buddy Dustin from Barefoot Birdies. Welcome.
Reed, I appreciate you having me, man. It's been fun following you guys the last couple of months since I found you on Instagram when I first started my page. And man, I've always wanted to be on a podcast. To have the chance is pretty cool. You know, to me, even if you have one listener, that's cool enough, you know. So it's an honor to be here, especially to be your first actual live guest. That's pretty incredible. I feel very honored. Appreciate it.
We appreciate it. I know you might have found us earlier on when we were doing a whole bunch of internet spamming. I don't know if we found you or if you found us, but we're glad to have
I think
you.
I found y'all. I just was going through, just following a bunch of Instagram pages that were golf related. And then I saw the pod. I was like, okay, I'll listen to podcasts. I hate this fucking game too, you know? Why not? So, and then it just I really liked the energy you guys had, the kind of back and forth. And then not only that, but the experience Josh brings to the table with his professional experience. I mean, not only just a couple of years, but 15 years? That's
Easily.
incredible, you know?
Yeah, like I said, it's really great to have you. So let's break it down real quick. How did you come into the game of golf?
So probably a lot like most people, actually. I got into car sales at 21. Everybody I worked with played golf. I went and dropped, I don't know, $700 on a set of clubs, bag, all that. Went to the range, shanked everything right, hard slices. I mean, just the big slices. Never figured it out. Put the clubs up for like 8 years. And then late 20s, I started going to a local bar here playing pool. And the bar owner, me and him got really close throughout the years. And he's like, bro, let's go play golf. Let's go play golf. He asked me for like 3 months. I was finally like, okay, like, will you shut up if I go? He's like, yes. So we go out, don't even have a tee time. It's Saturday, middle of the afternoon at one of the busiest courses. I'm like, I don't know much about golf, but I know you can't do this. What are you doing? But he was just a local. Everybody loved him. They tossed him a set of cart keys. We jumped on the cart. We pull up to the first tee right about the same time as another twosome. And they're like, hey, what's your tee time? And he looks at him, same as yours. I'm like, bro, first round, I don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know how to hit my irons. I just basically hit driver, you know? And so it just kind of went from there. We started going more and more. I got addicted to it. I went from shooting 130 to breaking 100 in like 3 months. You know,
Damn, impressive.
I dove head first into it, man. I mean, every day. And then I took about a year off, but, you know, did that. And, you know, he worked with me. And then we played with a lot of like scratch and like +3, +5 handicaps. So I was, you know, any chance I could get, I'm watching them or, you know, asking them questions. And then I would go to the range after the round and go hit, you know, 50 balls.
It really is amazing what just watching somebody who's really good at the game, what you can learn just by observing.
And same goes for somebody that's bad at the game. I've learned way more from watching bad swings than good swings. Because my buddy, like, he was the type of guy that anytime we'd golf, we always rode together on the cart, and he was always tapping me, you know, watch this. And then he'd be like, oh, don't do that. Or you see the way he did with his wrist there, start doing that. And so I would start trying to get more wrist hinge, start trying to come more down, start get more compression, you know, start all those things.
So this second time when you got back into the game, when did you know that it was going to become this addiction?
So it was already an addiction when I first started. I played for about 7 months, and then I just work, life. I got just in a funk in life, you know, and just took time off from everything, really, all my hobbies. And then 3-4 months ago, when I quit my full-time job to go into another side business of mine, it got to where I could play golf more. So I was like, all right, my best round ever was 87. I'd shot an 87 and an 89 right before I quit. So I'm like, I should be mid upper 80s. I've been playing 3 months, 4 or 5 times a week, and I've shot 90, 10 plus times, and I've yet to break 90 since being back, and it's driving me nuts. But that's the game, right?
Absolutely,
So
man. So you dive back in. You were addicted, obviously, but
yeah,
as we all know, right? Life gets in. This game takes up a lot of time, and it's hard to
and
actually.
money, you know.
It's hard to find the resources sometimes. You come back into it, and now, like, what has golf done for you? What does the game itself mean to you?
Well, so when we early on, my buddy that got me into it, he actually ended up being a co-founder for the Barefoot Birdies brand. He was kind of the inspiration behind it all. He would always knew what type of round we were playing when he came out of the house. If he's wearing his boots, we're going barefoot. If he's wearing his golf shoes, we're wearing shoes. And 99% of the time he comes out of the house wearing boots. I'm like, okay, game on. But we played, I don't know, 10, 15 rounds. And he's like, bro, you got to take your shoes off. You got to feel these greens. You got to feel like we played Myrtle Beach, Blackmore down there. I think it was like $130 for 18, one of the nicest courses I've ever played. And he finally convinced me, okay, you know what? These are nice fairways. These are nice greens. I kind of want to fill them. And I mean, it took me a long time to accept it and actually go barefoot because I'm the type of guy that I'm putting on sandals as soon as I get out of the shower. First thing I do, I don't even dry off, sandals on. And so he got me into it more. And then he was really big into just the whole grounding aspect, the nature aspect, the being one with nature again. And once I started embracing that, and when I quit my full-time job 3 months ago, I was like, well, I've got the sports card business I'm doing. I've got free time. Let me put a logo together for this company we keep talking about. Why not? Let me trademark it real quick, just in case, somebody sees it and says, hey, that's a really cool idea. I want that. Well, no, trademark. So I did that. We started filming content. I hate being on camera. This is really uncomfortable for me, but I'll get through it. But so I've got so many just videos and photos of him barefoot playing, just hours of clips, that I'd stored up for content for TikTok, Instagram, for our brand.
Yeah, why don't you
So
show
it's,
that logo a little bit to the camera? Because I
oh
noticed,
yeah,
I think those hats
it's
are
probably a little blurry.
a little bit, but those hats are sick, honestly. They're really
Yeah,
sweet.
this is my favorite. This is the Imperial DNA 010. I
Yeah.
think the fabric's almost like a not a suede, but a silky. Like it's just got that
Yeah.
really,
That
and when
one's
it
cool.
sweats, when
And
it's wet, oh man, it's so nice. I
the
love it.
black,
I wear it
the
everywhere.
black one with the white trim, that one's pretty solid
Yes.
too.
Yeah. And I'd put in a hat order, like a small batch 25 hat order about a month ago. And my buddy Nick had told me one thing he wants is he wants a black and white hat. I'm like, all right, cool, you got it. Well, he wears red a lot. I'm like, I'll give him a red and white hat too. And
That's sweet
then
too.
and then there was another one where it had the black rope, and I'm like, I was going to do like a white on it, but then, after his unfortunate passing, I was like, well, let's make this like a memorial hat. So I blacked it out, like murdered it out. And that's actually become my favorite hat. It
Nice.
like when the sun hits the embroidery just right, it like glistens and pops off. It's so cool. But yeah,
So Birdies was started by you and your buddy just getting out, playing together, shoeless.
pretty much. And so he always did this thing to where, and he had his ups and downs too, but at his best, he was, probably a 4 or 5 handicap, maybe a 7, but he was just nasty. And so early on when we first started playing, that was kind of at his height of his playing. And so he would just always come off barefoot birdies, and he just, have that. And so I looked at him like, bro, why don't we put that on a hat? Why don't we put that on a shirt? And mind you, this is 3 years ago. And so just now, 3 years later, coming around and doing it. And then now with his unfortunate passing, it's kind of taken a completely different meaning for the brand itself. Obviously, it still will be merchandise, hats, polos, stuff like that. We plan to get in a lot of different markets, but it's got a lot different meaning now than what a playful, whimsical, play barefoot type thing. So
Yeah, well, let's talk about that meaning because you have a big event coming up here in a couple weeks.
sir.
What is the vet? What is the event? And what is the genesis? Where did the idea come from?
So when I got the phone call, it was a Saturday morning. I was actually at the gym, just got done working out, and I flipped. I just flipped. And for some reason, all that kept popping into my head is, man, I have none of our golf buddies' numbers because he would always set the tee times. He'd always be like, hey, so and so and so and so is playing with us. Or we'd be playing 18 and we'd be on the fifth and see one of our buddies teeing off on the first, and we'd turn back around and go play with them.
Now, I
So,
am assuming that this memorial event is for this buddy who passed away, unfortunately.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. Yeah. So, and that was my initial thought was, how do I let these guys know? And then how can I make sure that his son just turned 6
It's tough.
a few days ago. And so I'm like, how can I make sure that his son can enjoy the game of golf? Because, he's 5, he's been hitting balls since he was 3 years old. He's always had a driver or a putter in his hands. And so, I had the idea, let's put on this memorial tournament for him. Let's set up a trust, put all this money into a trust for his son. That way, throughout the years, if he wants a new set of clubs and they're $1,000, here you go. If you want to go to college for this, I plan on making this an annual tournament. So that way we can bring in, X amount every year, just keep putting into it. So that's kind of how it became about, was I need to find a way to let the golf community know, which he was a big figure in our local community, being a local bar owner for 15 years. Everybody knew him. Everybody loved him, so literally the next day, I just started getting golfers' phone numbers, find them on Facebook. I started going to all the local golf courses and started talking to them like, hey, I don't know if you've heard. I'm putting on a tournament, because in my mind, it was the only way to really process it, or almost not even process it, just kind of, I've got to stay focused. I've got to keep moving. Anytime I was alone, it just was miserable. So that was my vice, if you will, was, all right, let me put on this tournament. Let me put all of my energy and passion into this, and not, sadness or depression.
I mean, it's completely noble. I think it's a really wonderful idea for his legacy, and and the fact that there's a trust to help out his kid. That's really wonderful. What are the details? What is the event called? Where is the event held? Any information that we can put out there to the masses?
Gotcha. So it's going to be the first annual Barefoot Open. Got to stick with it. It's going to be first annual Barefoot Open dash the Nick Ostergaard Memorial Golf Tournament. We've got a partner with Golf Status, who's an amazing technology company for golf tournaments, exclusively charity and memorial fundraiser type events. If you're standing to look at any sort of profit, they will not help you. You just have to find somebody else. So the fact that we were able to get that partnership, they've helped make our website. They've helped line up all of our sponsorship tiers. They've made it easy for donations on the website. So if somebody's not able to play in the event, sponsor the event, they want to donate $10, they can donate $10.
Excellent.
It all goes into one centralized account. I've got meetings with a few attorneys this coming week to, look at trust ideas, because it's going to cost a fair amount of money. And now I'm learning I'm going to have to come out of pocket for all these consultations until we start recouping, some stuff.
Totally worth it, though.
Correct. And then we've lined that partnership up, which has been massive. If I can hit the 3 main sponsorship tiers, if anybody's listening and they want to help out, is the title sponsorship at $5,000. It unlocks a foursome for the tournament if they want it. It gets a technology package, which is a $750 value, where they have a day of app that will give you your yardages. It gives you a live leaderboard. I can send out messages to all the golfers. And at the top of that app all day long, that title sponsor's logo and website will be clickable right at the top of the screen all day long. It'll be branded all over every document, every banner, everything. That's a big one. The hole-in-one sponsor is a big one. I've got actually, I'm going to drop it down to 2 available at $1,000 a piece. That will open up $20,000 prize package if somebody hits a hole-in-one on one of 2 holes. It'll be broken up 10,000 on one hole, 10,000 on another. So we're trying to push that pretty big. Another one is the flag sponsorship. We've only got 6 available. I think it's $750. You can get sponsored on 3 holes with all your flags. If we only end up selling, we've got 1 flag sponsor already. If we only end up selling 2, well, then we're going to split it up. You get 9, this guy gets 9. So whatever ends up mass, we're going to make it even.
That's a lot of advertising.
Right, exactly. The flags, I mean, they make custom flag sticks. It's going to look great. They'll have it shipped out. So that's cool. That's an awesome avenue. The main reason why I'm focusing on those 3 sponsorships is not only because they're the higher tier ones, but also because if I'm able to hit all 3 tiers with golf status, that unlocks a $5,600 stay and play package with Dormy Network, which is their parent company up near Pinehurst. So, very prestigious VIP course. We get to auction that off. That's their only stipulation. Auction it off, $5,600 prize package. Can't beat it.
Can't beat that.
$20,000 kick in, $10,000 split between 2 holes, hole-in-one sponsorship. Can't beat that.
Nope.
Flag sponsorship, if we get that sold, we end up hitting all 3 tiers with them. They will actually kick back $1,000 into the account just because we hit all 3 tiers. Excellent. So that's you unlock so much if you sell the one, you unlock certain things. You sell the second one, you unlock more. You sell all 3, you unlock everything that they offer. And it's honestly, the more I've researched them, I've reached out to memorial tournaments that are currently working with them, that have worked with them for years, and nothing but incredible things to say about them. So,
well, hopefully we can help here get the word out a little bit so that we can get some of those ticked off for you. Where's the course located? What's the date?
So it's going to be Monday, September 22nd, 9:00 shotgun start. It's going to be at Charlotte National Golf Club, which is in Indian Trail, North Carolina. It's a local favorite around here. It used to be the one that everybody'd go run around and mess around on and play 36 for 18, but now they're getting more higher end because they're packed. You can go there on a Thursday afternoon and maybe not get a tee time, so they kind of had to step their level up. It's no longer you can go out there and mess around and be as such a carefree course as it was, which is incredible for them. As a business, they just changed ownership. I think the owner passed away a few years ago, so awesome for them. They're still one of the cheaper courses in the area anyways, so can't complain.
Sounds like a really awesome event. I wish you all the success in the world.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, because I know we are sponsoring.
Yes, sir.
I Hate This Fucking Game is sponsoring a hole, which is going to be really, really cool for us.
Yes.
And I know we've talked about it before, but I think there's a real partnership here that we can build. And,
I agree.
What's the saying? A rising tide raises all ships. So I think we're on the same page here. And like I said, good luck with the events. We'll keep promoting it. And
then I'll promote you guys as much as I can. Like I said, I'm now on episode 12 or 13. I went back to start over. I think I started at episode 20 or 22. So I've listened to those last 10 plus the first 10. I think I'm only missing 10 more, and I've listened to the whole podcast. So any chance I get, I listen to you guys. I feel like I know both you and Josh so well. Listening to you guys for 20 hours plus.
God, that seems like a lot.
Right. I feel crazy now saying that, because I'm like, wait a minute. These guys know hardly anything about me except for the few, Instagram messages we've exchanged, and I know almost y'all's entire life story.
That's really weird to think about. But that's cool. That's why we're here, right? Because again, it's this game that we are all obsessed with. It's this game we all love. It's this game that has basically shaped who we are.
Correct. And brought people like you and me together.
Absolutely. It's the best thing about
this would never happen if I had never gotten into golf. The things that are happening in my life would have never happened because of golf. And honestly, my biggest regret in life was not playing golf younger, in high school and stuff. But, they always say hindsight. So
making up for lost time now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dustin, man, it was great to have you.
Pleasure, man.
Again, great luck. And anybody in the Charlotte area, anywhere in North Carolina, reach out to Barefoot Birdies. Email barefootbirdiesofficial@gmail.com. Instagram is the same handle. Get out, follow the page, and take off your damn shoes.
That's right.
That's it, man. First interview in the book. Thanks again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Reed. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, have a good one.
We bought two mics, no plan in sight, talking about greens in the dimming light. Lost in the fairways, our failures we proclaim. Dear friend, I hate this fucking game. Birdies and bogeys, cursing the name, swinging in circles, it's all the same. Laughter and anguish, joy's hard to frame. Together we hate this fucking game.